Wait a while. Okay, so in the last class, sorry about that, we took a long time between that. I think it's about clear. The same issue is there. So the thing is, I was explaining about sadaqahs to individuals and sadaqahs to organizations. So those who have is the trained on what it means, you can just go and check it again. I think it's uploaded. I don't know. Okay, now let's get back to the thing. So the thing is, so there is a trend out here today where people are so happy about the closure of certain businesses. So as you know that we are having an inflation, we are having certain issues in the country, and almost everything, the prices of everything that we have has gone threefolds up. So completely it's like those who are rich have become middle class, and those who are middle class are now broke, and so on. So in that thing, one of the main effects is because of the taxes and because of certain other issues, we have the closure of a lot of organizations, a lot of companies, a lot of shops, and so on. So the thing is, when a thing like that happens to a country, when a country goes bust like that, the closures and shutdowns, it's a common thing, layoffs too, okay? But the bad part in that, but the most bad part in whatever happens is that some people consider it good. Some people, they just consider it a trend. Like it's like telling the score of a cricket match. It's like telling that shop also closed. Okay, that guy also closed down. They also busted. They also laid off 40,000 people. Okay, they shut it down. So it's like every day when the news comes, after a while we get an interest in that. We start to behave like we want it. Like we start to behave after a while like we want it to happen. Okay, so every day we go and search on, so who closed today? What happened today? Okay, who shut down today? And after that, there's another kind of people, not only the ones who are watching and waiting for the scores to happen, but there's another type of people who are really happy about those closures, who are really happy, and those who indulge in some kind of method that they connect those closures to whatever sins that they have done in the past. For example, I went to a shop before, and the guy charged me more. For example, once it happened like that. So now what happens is when the shop closes, I be happy about that. And I say, he closed. Okay, he closed. And I think he did that to me, that is why Allah gave him. He did that to me, so that is why Allah gave him. So like for example, a butcher, he closed his shop. Now, he might have done something bad and all. So we go and say like, look, for the bad things that he did, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has punished him, and so on. So that is what we do normally. So it's a trend. The thing is, one important part that we don't see is when a business shuts down, okay, when a shop closes, or when a company shuts down, and so on. When a firm, like it goes out of business, and so on. The thing is, we people think that it's going to affect only the owner. Like people who are happy about whatever they did to us, people who are happy that they are avenged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever the bad things that they did to us, they don't realize that it's not the owner who is going to be affected. Like the owner of a company and the owner of a shop which earns in millions is not going to be affected by its closure instantly. It will take him for some time. He will always have time to come back. Okay, he will always have other options. There will be people to help him out, because even though the shop is closed down, he has his network, he has his contacts. Banks will trust him. Okay, people will trust him. They will offer him loans. Okay, not the interest ones, but it's the thing. People will trust him because he is a businessman. He is recognized. So even though we think that the closure of that organization is going to affect him, the reality is that guy will be crying, but in his BMW. He won't be crying somewhere in the road. He won't be crying somewhere like considering suicide. He won't be thinking about how to feed his family and so on. It really doesn't affect them at all. The people who own the company, or the people that we think affected us, the people who really made something bad to us, those people don't get affected at all. But the thing is, the people who are really going to be affected by the closure of these organizations are the people who work in there. The people who work in there. Just take a shop. Okay, we'll take a textile for an example. For example, textile is there. It has like 4 floors. So in each floor we have like 5 employees working in there. Okay, let's exclude the security guys and etc. So in each floor, if they have 5 salesmen, so it's like 20. So these 20 people, they are responsible for 20 families. They are responsible for 20 families. So we don't count them as 20 people. We count them as 20 families. So the thing is, when this business closes down, okay, can be for any reason, closes are up, taxation is high or whatever. So when this when this shop closes down, the boss, he won't be affected much by this. Okay, he's affected, as I told before, it can be mended, it's easy to fix. The thing is, these people who live on the income from that shop, who live from the salary of that shop, when the business closes down, their families, the 20 of them, their families will become stranded. They don't have a proper job. Okay, they will be having a hard time thinking about the next meal. They will be having a hard time traveling to school. They will be having a hard time buying the things that are essential to them, paying bills and so on. So these 20 people are the ones who are going to be affected. And if we have 3 members in their families, then think about the amount of people who are going to be affected just by the closure of one shop. So that was just one shop, like a textile, where people earn just like 30,000 or 40,000, or like there are 15,000 shops also. The thing is like that. So the thing is, a closure is not going to affect the one who affected us. It's going to affect the people who and the families which are dependent on that shop, even though we accept it or not. Okay, so if it is the case of a textile, think about the companies. Think about the garments that have closed themselves down. Think about the firms which laid out its staff because they couldn't pay them correctly, and so on. So what happens is, when those people go bust, when these companies go bust, when these firms go bust, it's not the people who are in the higher positions who are affected. I'm not saying they are not affected at all. They are affected, but they are not affected to a level where their company, their children will suffer. Okay, where they will be thinking about what to do for the next meal. Okay, how can I pay back the loan that I took from the grocery shop? How can I do that? So they are not going to worry about that. Their worries will be something different. How can I make a comeback? How am I going to build from this business? How am I going to minimize the loss? And so on. So that's what they do. Their issue is different. But these people whose livelihood is based on these organizations, they are the ones who are affected more. So if we are happy about people or the business closing down, then we are just really being happy at the misery of those people. We are really being happy at the hardships that those people are facing. It's not about the misery of the owner. As I told before, he'll be crying in his BMW. He won't be crying in the bus and so on. Like the people who are bust now are the employees. So what I'm coming to say is, the first thing is we should try to avoid being happy at the closure of these organizations, because it's not going to affect them. It's going to affect people who are like us, who are normal people, who are normal families. Okay, it's going to affect them. So the thing is, we should avoid the trend where we count shops which are closing down. Second one, we should understand that in the end, the ones who are going to be affected is you and me, not them. Okay? And the third one is, there is another thing, that these kind of organizations, when they are about to go bust, there must be a way that other organizations, okay, other companies, other successful people, investors, and so on, they should try to go and help these people and prevent them from closing down. Okay, it can help. It is there in other communities. Okay, I don't know whether it's in Sri Lanka or not, but it's there in other countries. Okay, when someone is going to go bust, they will go and help them. Okay, when some company is going to go down, they will go buy shares and they will try to keep it to a level. When they are going to lay off employees because of an issue, they will go and cover it up. So the thing is, when they do that, they are not just helping the rich guy. We might think that that guy is helping the rich guy, he is just helping his company. It's not about that. It is a kind of Sadaqa, because if we help that company stay alive, we are helping those people who depend on that company stay alive too. Okay, if this company lives for a long time, okay, if it doesn't go bust, the people who depend on that company, they will also live for a long time. Okay, their salaries will be paid for that, and their families will be happy. A lot of things will be sorted out just because we take care of the company. If we don't take care of that, we think, okay, that guy, he deserves that. Okay, he did that, he did this, and etc. If we leave him like that, and if we think Sadaqa is only for poor people, Sadaqa is only for like that and this and etc. If you think like that, these people, what happens is we will be creating, this organization will go down, and the ones who will be affected will be the normal people. And finally, we'll get more people to give Sadaqa too. So the thing is, in the types of Sadaqahs that we have studied, one is individuals, as we have studied before. The second one is, check the video, I think it's in Insta. And the next one is in organization. In that, the main one is this. The main one is about lifting organizations which are going to go down. So that's another part of that. We'll talk about that in the next one, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.